It was a full harvest, partially eclipsed supermoon last night, and I was able to charge some mugwort, pull some cards, and do some spell work. I recorded it in my Book of Shadows, and I thought I would take the opportunity to show you how I do that, because it's unique. And stick around because there is also a giveaway. This is my moon calendar journal. So I did a video where I showed you how to use a moon calendar, and then I did another video where I talked about the symbols that I was using in it. But I never actually have shown you kind of like how I use it. There are definitely different ways to use it, but I use this as my Book of Shadows, and I absolutely adore it. So here's my book. Here's the book from last year. And this is my master key page. These are all the symbols I have to remind me in case I forget. I mean, it's fun, you know, you can just come up with whatever you want. And you could put sigils in here, I guess, if you wanted to instead, to make this even more magical. This is what January of 2024 looked like. I had written down the days that I meditated and then my menstruation, and then it looks like in January I didn't do any spell work. But I also noted the moon phases, the quarters, the dark moon and the full moon. And then if I even wanted to, I could put the specific symbols from here that I use in here up here so that I don't have to flip all the way to the front again. And then here's just like a little note about what I did. So I wrote, I spent this month reading Bones Fall in a Spiral. Other than that, I felt stuck, but I did come up with a theme for the year. Discipline, purge, become happy with what I have, and a quote for myself to remember I respect myself. February, I actually did a lot more in terms of like spell work, and you can see I utilize the key for this month up here too. I'm not going to go into super detail about this, but as you can see, I've got some ancestor communication, graveyard visit. I used a little bit of color on this one instead of just black and white, which actually I like a lot. I used my Rose of Jericho in a spell. There's a bunch of stuff that I did here. On this side, I took notes. This was my experience about going to the graveyard, and then some recipes. And I made a map of the graveyard here, and then noted all the gravestones that I visited and spoke with a spirit there, so that I could go back and revisit. I also put down the offerings here that I used, which were coins and tobacco. This is actually a binding spell here that I created. I love this. This spell is my baby, but I'm not going to read it. Oh, and here I did some drawings for this month, which is spirit ink and then summoning incense and releasing incense. So I just did a diagram of what I made with all the ingredients that I used. You can kind of get a sense of how to use this journal here. And here's a peek at the cover of the next moon journal. I'm so excited. Let's see what they look like. Oh. Okay, interesting. This is not what I expected them to look like. So I just designed and ordered my next moon journal calendars, and they look great. I mean, I already knew what the insides would pretty much look like because I've seen them before. Just kind of updated them to this year. But we have our 12-month moon journal and our 15-month. This one starts in October. This is paperback with a matte finish. What's the color on the front? It's sort of a really dark navy, I guess. even though this was supposed to be purple, but it's okay, I like it. It's very nighttime. It looks like nighttime. So I just showed you my moon calendar that just came in, my moon calendar journal that just came in. This was the cover design of last year's in the color. It's basically the same, except with a different image on the front. So 15 month, 12 month, and then I also have this journal. This is just one out of a bunch of journals that I have designed that are also, I think, super fun and cute. And this one has, can you see it? Yeah. It's a painting by, it's called Portrait of a Woman, and it's by Jean-Marc Nautier. I think that's how you say his name. And it was painted in 1753. And I went in and put a witch hat on it so that it turned into a portrait of a witch. And I did them to a handful of portraits. It's been really fun doing that. But they are available if you want one in the shop. They're great gifts since we're in gift season. This is going to be a giveaway. So if you would like this journal, say so in the comments, and then I will do a drawing. And if you're outside of the US, I ask that you pay for shipping, but if you're inside the US, I will pay for it. So links for the portrait journals and the moon calendar journals are in the description box. They're darker than the last one I did. I thought they were going to be purple. This is okay, I really